Good evening from Tottenham on a sunny June evening in London. I'm in conversation with the folk musician Steve Folk, who recently changed his name, interestingly, from Blabbermouth. I do think that changing your name from Blabbermouth to Steve Folk was an inspired move, because your music is actually really elegant, and in a way, calling yourself Blabbermouth actually does you an injustice. Is that the conclusion you came to, that Blabbermouth wasn't the right name?
Yes, well, even with Ramble, I was still with the moniker Blabbermouth, but it was Steve Thompson, aka Blabbermouth, so I was trying to get away from the Blabbermouth thing. For me, Blabbermouth was always worked for me, because I understood it. I understood what I meant by Blabbermouth, and it was about, this kind of...
It's like a stream of consciousness, isn't it? Yeah,
yes,
you're like the beat poets.
Yeah, although the actual dictionary definition for Blabbermouth is somebody that spreads vicious rumours.
That's why I think that perhaps it isn't a good name.
So, and I definitely haven't really done that. I haven't done many rumour spreading. So that's when I changed my name to Steve Folk about 6 months ago, and I've enjoyed more success in terms of bookings and attention.
And it sort of does what it says on the tin, doesn't it?
Yes, I wanted to make it very easy for people to understand what it is I do, or what I think that I do.
Let's talk about Ramble, your third album.
Yeah.
You range over topics that we are all obsessed with: love, having to earn a living. I love the song where you talk poignantly about one more year, no more rungs to climb.
Yes.
I mean, that really hits home.
Yeah.
What inspired that song?
Well, I can tell you, I was moored up in Canary Wharf, which is,
the financial powerhouse of modern 21st century London.
Yeah, and to be on a canal boat right next to this world, and just going for a walk through Canary Wharf and just seeing this complete opposite to what I experience inspired me to write a song about these people that go to work every day, and craving money and power, and that's kind of what Canary's about. But it's sung from the perspective of me being that person, in certain parts of the song. And that lyric, "One more year, I'll have no more rungs to climb," goes on and on at the end.
Yes, it really sort of captures the sort of tenacity and tension, striving.
That was the idea, really, the constant striving, and one more year, no more rungs, and it just keeps going on and on and on. People that spend all their lives looking for that promotion, maybe it'll never come.
Yeah, and then in contrast, there are the wonderful songs where you examine sustainability, which is a very serious thread running through a lot of your music, which I love. And I wanted to talk to you about the wonderful song about your imaginary farm. That's a gorgeous song, and it really captures that sense of longing. Is that something that you do actually one day aspire to actually leave London and maybe have a small holding and adopt the good life?
Well, to be honest, I kind of wrote that from the perspective of the similar people that work in Canary Wharf, and their ideals of thinking, going home and thinking, I've had enough of this, and when are we going to live on that farm? And that's where it came from, the idea of the farm we'll never have, and to have this kind of beautiful notion that one day we'll own our own land with all these different animals, etc.
Because you really go into great detail. You can almost physically conjure up this imaginary dream of a farm through your lyrics.
The detail is something that I really enjoy, and to be as detailed as possible, really.
There's a wonderful song called 360. Tell me about the theme behind that.
It's quite a simple theme, really. It's a kind of a song, again, for people that aren't really in the countryside, to just go, forget everything and go on top of a hill and just kind of spin around, do a 360. Yeah, again, I was, you know, really kind of getting a high from writing these lyrics which were very descriptive about what will happen if you do this, you know.
Yeah, let's talk about Old Grey London. Now that's a song about London, and I absolutely love it. It's heartbreaking, but it's also really beautiful. And so it's, as I understand it, it's you singing about a lover, London as a lover that you've fallen out of love with, like a woman who has grown old and lost her allure. Is that how you see London, or did you actually see London like that at some point?
You hit the nail on the head there. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think when I wrote Old Grey London, it was really about being disillusioned by this relationship that I have with the city and feeling let down. You know, the idea that I'd given the city a lot, I'd given everything to her, and not getting a lot back, and being tired of it.
In what way did you feel you weren't getting anything back? That it was hard to live in London as an artist?
Well, I think it was, yes, I think as an artist, as a musician, London's a very difficult nut to crack, especially if you're doing something that's a little out of the mainstream. You know, you're really narrowing down your audience, and I think Old Grey London was really about that, about the frustration of trying to be a musician and trying to be taken seriously, but having just a kind of undying affection, which, you know, will never go. How do
you feel about London now, Steve? You live on a narrow boat. You live what I suppose many people would see as the life of a troubadour. You actually live that life. What is that like on a daily basis to live on a narrow boat, to actually not live in a house and live a conventional life? Have you really taken to that?
It feels very normal to me, you know, this life. And there are definitely ups and downs to the whole living on the boat thing. But generally, it's just a lovely lifestyle, and it's heavily influenced my third album, and heavily influenced kind of everything. My whole demeanour, I think, has changed. But
so basically, you have to, because you're living a nomadic life on the boat, you move every couple of weeks.
Yes.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that? I mean, what's it like to poodle up and down the waterways of London?
The majority of the time, it's really great. I mean, there are times when you're busy and you're kind of like, I don't really have time to move.
Or you rather like where you've been
are,
hanging out.
But we do move, and the next, we're actually going to move down to another area at the weekend for a bit, and then we're going out of London beginning of July.
Does it feel like you're sort of on holiday? You know, that
all the time. Yes.
Is that the reality? You think, or you can just take the moorings in and set off on a summer's evening. Do you do that? Do you just go adventuring?
It's been a while.
In your narrow boat?
It's been a while, but we have done, yes. Yeah. We've gone out at 2 o'clock in the morning before, with friends or something, just for a little gallivant.
I would imagine that you're more aware of the changing seasons living on a boat. Would you agree with that? That you're more in touch with the environment and seeing changes on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, if not for the temperature, for everything else that goes with it. I mean, in the winter, the stove must remain on 24 hours a day. So that's one way, definitely, knowing that the seasons are changing. The other is obviously when the autumn comes in and the leaves start changing colour. It's amazing.
What other magical sights are there to be seen from a narrow boat in London?
Okay, early morning mist on the water is amazing, especially if the sun is rising and there's no clouds, and you just get this fog that's just coming off the water. Other times in the winter when we've gone through ice, it creates kind of magical electric sound. What else can I tell you? In Wiltshire, when we've travelled up to Wiltshire, when the sun is setting.
Oh my God, has she gone in the water? She has. Quick!
Charlotte!
Oh God.
Well,
Oh dear.
what else can I do?
No, nothing else. Well, that wasn't meant to happen. I'm glad to report that both Steve and Charlotte, his cat, are alive, safe and well. Steve, as you saw, literally had to dive in and rescue Charlotte, who went overboard. Maybe she was thinking that she needed to contribute something to the film today, but I'm very glad to say that she's okay. But poor old Steve is a bit shook up.
Oh yes, she hasn't done that for 6 months or so.
But she is prone to jumping in the water.
She's been in a few times. I've never had to go in to rescue her, but she did make an unusual sound.
Steve is not only a great singer but a hero this afternoon as well. Steve, you're going to play a song from Ramble. Which song have you picked to play for us this evening?
I'm going to play 360.
Which is a song which celebrates doing a twirl on top of a hill in the British countryside somewhere that you love.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay,
Take it
you.
away.
I'm always awake when they turn the street lights off, so I use it as a sign to go walking through the field. Rolling hills of every green, sheets of dew with a silver sheen, caused by the golden rays of sunlight through the purple sodden clouds. And there's nobody here but me, but I can really feel and see why any creature would believe there was a God. So take a walk away from man, abolish every kind of plan you have, and find yourself a hill. Do a 360, let your senses grow up here. There's only time to kill. And every season has a scene, and everybody has a dream. There's no need for aspirations when surrounded by creations. And there's nobody here but me, but I can really feel and see why any person would believe there was a God. So take a walk away from man, abolish every kind of plan you have, and find yourself a hill. Do a 360, let your senses grow up here. There's only time to kill. But don't leave the walk too long. Start to wondering, was the feeling strong? Let's say goodbye to city lights. Fall in love with your countryside. When the sunshine says goodbye, gives way to Prussian coloured sky, that is the moment when our hearts can feel as fragile as a cup. Without a thought for why it is, your spirit falls a little bit. It is the power of the tower that is named the universe. And when our world comes to an end, maybe an if and not a when, be a space in space left open where our globe once had its home. But if and when it ever comes, let's celebrate what we become. Look around our greenish planet with a mighty sense of awe. And there's nobody here but me, but I can really feel and see why any person would believe there was a God. So take a walk away from man, abolish every kind of plan you have, and find yourself a hill. Do a 360, let your senses grow. Up here there's only time to kill. lights off, so I use it as a sign to go walking through the fields.
That was beautiful. How can people buy your wonderful album, Ramble?
You can buy my album online at Amazon, it's on iTunes, and you can even go into a shop and buy it. But you will have to order it probably.
Thank you very much, Steve. We've thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you on your narrowboat in the centre of London this evening. Thanks very much.
Thank you.